One unique fact tells you all you might need to know about the celebrated baseball career of James J. Schult, one of the most versatile players in program history. The fact is that 12 years after graduating, Jim still ranks among the all-time top 10 in 13 of a possible 15 career hitting categories, a fact that does not even address a 19-2 pitching record. After averaging 55 hits, 48 runs, and 42 RBI, and winning 9 of 10 pitching decisions in his first 3 years, the Wappingers Falls native solidified his Hall of Fame status as a senior in 2011 when he was named National Player of the Year and First Team All-America, as well as ECAC and Little East Pitcher of the Year. In that senior season, Jim led the conference in 4 statistical pitching categories and in 3 hitting categories, in propelling the Warriors to a second straight Little East regular season title and into a 4th straight NCAA tournament. In his career, Jim was named All Little East 5 times at 3 different positions. At Eastern, Jim's dedication on the field was matched only by his commitment in the classroom, where he was an academic all-district selection, as well as a Little East all-academic and Eastern outstanding scholar-athlete qualifier.
Good evening. My name is Sean Gilblair, and I have the distinct pleasure of speaking on the behalf of my former teammate, Jimmy Schult, and his historic career at Eastern Connecticut State University. As impressive as Jimmy's career was statistically, the numbers told only part of his story and what it was that made him truly great. The character traits and intangibles that he brought to the field every day throughout his career are what made him truly special. Jimmy came onto a team loaded with All-Americans surrounding him. The first time we met was during our first fall meeting of his freshman year. Each player was instructed to stand up and introduce themselves. Jimmy stood up and told a room of 70 peers that he was Jimmy Schult and that he was capable of playing anywhere on the field. It would have been a tall task for any first-year player to come in and make a name for himself right away, but Jimmy put his stamp on the program before even stepping on the field. He let everyone know that he had arrived and he was going to make a major impact sooner rather than later. It was the inner confidence and competitive nature that fueled his career and made him one of the greatest baseball players in Eastern history. As I reflect back on Jimmy's introduction to the team, who he claimed to be as a ball player was spot on. He could play anywhere and there was nothing he couldn't do. In my 8 consecutive years at Eastern, Jimmy was the most vicious competitor I had been around. He earned the immediate respect of everyone through his drive and determination. No matter the drill, task, objective, or goal, if Jimmy was around, he was more prepared and would outcompete and outwork everyone. He took work ethic personally. The professionalism to the game, the attention to detail, and the elite competitive bulldog mentality established him as a selfless leader his entire career. Jimmy could affect the game in so many ways. He had all the tools and was a complete player as you could get. There was nothing on the field that he couldn't do. He was a power bat in the middle of the lineup, an elite defender with a strong arm, savvy base runner, and was arguably the best pitcher in New England as a senior. With Jimmy on the mound, you knew you could beat anyone in the country. The bigger the stakes, the better Jimmy got. If the game was on the line, he was the guy you wanted at the plate. Elimination game in the regional tournament, he was the guy you wanted to have the ball on the mound. He wanted to be the guy in those big pressure moments. He wanted to win more than anything in the world, and I am so fortunate to have been a part of it. The 2011 National Player of the Year and Little East Conference Pitcher of the Year, Jimmy Schult will go down as one of the greatest to ever put on an Eastern uniform, and I am so proud to be a part of his special evening.
He came to Eastern to be a two-way player, and that's what he wanted, and he put in the effort and the work to do it.
All the players introduced themselves, telling us their name, the town that they were born or the state they're from and the position. And it came to Jimmy, and he says, Jim Schult, Fishkill, New York, play anywhere. And Coach Holowati looks at me and looks at the coaches and goes, what the freak? Who is this guy?
I would characterize Jim as just an all-around, genuine, good person that's going to give you 110% no matter what it is.
Jim just has that professional mentality. You know, I mean, that's the Eastern way, Eastern baseball, and that's what Coach Holowati always talked about. You know, effort through excellence, you know, just being professional. Jim was just the leader, you know, and we worked hard in the weight room together, and he showed me the ropes of what college ball was like.
He just came to practice every day to get better. And he just got better and better and better. Wherever we played him, he mainly played at right field and pitched for us. And he was a heck of a pitcher, too. Very intelligent, very down-to-earth, very good student, was like Dean's List scholar athlete here, and a good ball player on the field. So he was well-rounded.
Jim just led by example, you know, always winning every single sprint, always busting his tail in the weight room, just leading by example. And I think it just motivated everybody else to, you know, strive to be great, and we all just ran with it. Jim was just so clutch. You know, whenever we needed a big hit, you know, or a big game to pitch in, Jim would always come through for us. And, you know, we needed a player like that. We had really good ball players to support him, but Jim, whenever we needed him, just seemed like he always just came in for us.
We were always thinking one pitch ahead, two pitches ahead. We were thinking about how we wanted to set up a batter to play into our game plan. I get asked a lot whether Jim was either a better pitcher or a better hitter or a better fielder. He was National Player of the Year in 2011. He made the all-decade team. In order to get to that level as a utility type of player, I don't think you can be better at one than the other.
Good person, good human being, well-deserved honor for him.
At this time, it gives me great pleasure to present for induction into the Eastern Connecticut State University Athletics Alumni Hall of Fame, James J. Schult.